Morning, good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful day in the greatest city on earth, and I thank you for joining me this morning. We are only a week into the new month, and this Thursday will be our first City Council meeting and workshop of June. And our City Council will receive updates about the upcoming about the city's pension program and capital construction projects during the workshop. During the regular meeting, the City Council will hold to consider various alcohol licenses and zoning amendments before considering the approval of purchasing items, such as authorizing the city manager to execute a contract for recyclable materials processing services with Pratt Recycling in the amount up to $728,000. The Sanitation Department will use the recyclable materials processing services to process all single-stream recycling materials collected by the City of Savannah. And we will also consider the purchase of an upgraded Microsoft software to increase efficiency for city staff. As always, you can catch these meetings live and in person. You can catch them on our Facebook page or on the homepage of our website, or of course, we always love to have folks here in City Council chambers. The agenda for this week is at savannahga.gov, savannahga.gov, and we will also be proclaiming June 2023 as Pride Month here in the hostess city of the South. I want to take the opportunity to thank everyone who wore orange on Friday and this past weekend. It was very heartwarming to see people all over the coastal empire sporting their best orange. More importantly, addressing and lifting up the importance of gun violence awareness, not only here locally but across the nation. And so Savannah was a part of that bigger observance, a part of that bigger conversation. And so I want to thank Moms Demand Action, Dominique's World, Mothers of Murdered Sons, and a variety of other advocacy groups who joined together to be able to acknowledge this day. We will not stop until there are zero gun violence incidents in our community. And so until we do, we will continue to wear orange. If you run a nonprofit organization, then I have news for you. The city seeks to fund programs and services provided under the Community Partnership Program for fiscal year 2024. Proposed programs and services must assist in achieving the priorities outlined in the Community Partnership Program 2024's request for proposals and benefit the residents of this city. The applications open on June the 12th at savannahga.gov/CPP, savannahga.gov/CPP. The deadline is July the 28th and must be submitted electronically to the City of Savannah's neighborly portal at savannahga.gov/grants, savannahga.gov/grants. There will be an informational session on Saturday, June the 10th from 8:30 a.m. to 12 noon at the Savannah Cultural Arts Center at 201 Montgomery Street, and we encourage any interested individuals to attend this session. If you cannot make it on June the 10th, nonprofit agencies can drop in at the Pennsylvania Avenue Resource Center or the park at 425 Pennsylvania Avenue to have application questions answered. And for those interested in energy efficiency and savings, the Office of Sustainability has added additional opportunities for the public to participate in their series of community workshops about free energy efficiency programs. Programs are for income-qualified Georgia Power customers and offer minor upgrades which can be completed in one day and will make homes more comfortable and help lower monthly energy bills. So residents can receive assistance in applying for this program at any workshop and only need to bring a copy of their Georgia Power bill. Staff will be available to assist income-qualified seniors age 65 and up with applying for Georgia Power's Senior Discount Program. These workshops are part of the city's 100% Savannah plan to achieve 100% renewable energy in our community. For more information about this program, you can contact Leisha Brown, our Clean Energy Program Manager, and she could also answer questions about our 100% Savannah plan. 912-651-6338, 912-651-6838, 6838. Or you can email her at alicia.brown@savannahga.gov, alicia.brown@savannahga.gov. They have workshops at the Forest City Library on Monday, June the 5th, from 5:30 to 6:30, at Greater Friendship Baptist Church on Tibet Avenue on Thursday, June the 8th, from 6 to 7. The City of Savannah's Entrepreneur Center on Tuesday, June the 13th, from 12 to 1. The Entrepreneur Center again on June the 15th, which is a Thursday, from 5:30 to 6:30. At Kingdom Life Christian Fellowship on Monday, June the 26th, from 6 to 7. At 425 West Montgomery Crossroad. A Mosaic Church on Tuesday, June the 27th, from 6 to 7 at 7 Canebrake Road out on the south side. And at the Crusader Center on Monday, July the 7th, from 6 to 7 p.m. at 81 Coffee Bluff Villa Road. And so, as you know, the summer is here, and a major priority of mine is following through and finding ways that our city and our young people can all have a fun, safe, and engaged summer. And so as we are actively engaged with our 100 Days of Summer, specifically designed to keep our young people active and engaged and encouraged during this summer, I am again asking TV outlets to assist us by asking the question during your 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. broadcasts. Simple question. It's 11 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? And so as a reminder to check up, check in, and check out your beloved young person ages 2 to 20 years old. So I think that WTOC has already signed on, once again, agreeing to partner with us, and we want our other news outlets and other news directors to sign on, engage. This is a 30-second opportunity to help your entire community. We hope that you will join in as well. So we touched on summer safety, and now let's talk about summer fun. Get ready for an epic celebration under the summer stars, and we want you to join us at the Windsor Forest Community Center for our parking lot party on Wednesday, June the 14th, from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m., and it's an electrifying event as a part of our 100 Days of Summer, and we want you to come and dance to the hottest beats, enjoy thrilling games, and indulge in delicious food. As the young people say, come and turn up. Turn up in a safe way, and create memories that will last a lifetime. So we're asking you not to miss out on this wonderful and exciting summer experience that will be fun for the entire family. So mark your calendars and spread the word. And so for more on summer activities, you could always visit savannahga.gov/100 Days of Summer, savannahga.gov/100 Days of Summer. On June the 16th, Movies in the Park will move to Daffin Park with a showing of The Little Giants. The event starts at 8 p.m., and the movie will begin as soon as the sun goes down. And so residents can vote on the remaining movie selections on the coming weeks in social media, and I know I have my picks. We're also accepting applications for the Savannah Youth Council for the 2023-2024 session. And this is a program for rising eighth graders, and we provide opportunities for them to learn about their government, gain a sense of civic responsibility, and most importantly, to develop leadership skills. We know that leaders are made, they're not born. We recognize that our success is tied to our succession, and we know that we have to work at a much younger age to help develop the young people we want to see. And so I am preparing 8th graders to take my job. And a good community, a strong community, a resilient community does that. So I proudly co-founded the Savannah Youth Council in 2004. This is our 19th year going into our 20th year, and I'm just excited about what these young people now, in their 30s have done. And so it's a great program. Students may apply online at savannahga.gov/SYC. savannahga.gov/SYC, or you can call 651-6520, 651-6520, or you can email syc@savannahga.gov, syc@savannahga.gov. And of course, the 2023 hurricane season began on June the 1st, and we know what that means not only to our community, but to coastal communities. We already have a named storm, and it's only June the 6th. So we've been so blessed and fortunate not to have been impacted significantly by a disruptive weather event where we can ill afford to let our guard down and not be prepared. So again, I'm asking our citizens, review those plans, start checking your supplies, and ensuring that you are prepared. And I will provide a helpful tip every week to make sure that you are ready. This week's tip is about developing an evacuation plan. We are at risk of evacuation. You got to know where you're going to go. We know that we will show up on people's doorsteps, family, hey, we're here for a week. And we know that's changed. Populations have shifted. COVID has certainly changed the game. And so the first question you need to ask is, if we have to leave and we have to go west, then where do we go west? Is it a family member's house? Is it a hotel? What hotel? Where it is? If we have to go south, where do we go? If we have to go north, where do we go? Ask that question. And if it's family members or friends, you need to kind of work that out with them now, instead of when they see evacuation, we're like, oh yeah, we're on our way. So have all of that very, very clear, and that's something that we really need to address. Where do you go? And some of us have to stay, but for many of us, we go. So where do we go? So you don't have to travel 100 miles. But wherever it is, have that destination locked down and be really clear, because we only get a little bit of time before we have to evacuate once an evacuation is called. So we also want to make sure you prepare for your pets, because everywhere you go, you can't take your pets. So make sure you're very clear about that. So while it's always important to be Savannah strong, it's also important to be Savannah safe. So that's your tip for this week, and you'll get another great tip next week. This week also here in Savannah is the StoryCon Conference. And I've been blessed to work with Hospice Savannah to host the StoryCon Conference, the importance of storytelling and telling your story. And this is the second year. Last year I declared Savannah as a StoryCon capital of the world. And so this is year 2. And they are at the Embassy Suites on Oglethorpe, and I had the opportunity to keynote the luncheon there yesterday, and want to thank everyone from Hospice Savannah, Dr. Bertice Berry, and all of those who come from across the country to know and learn and share the importance of telling your story. And so this is just something else that our city is known and recognized for. And finally, a moment of personal privilege. Our press secretary, Keturah Luckett, is leaving us, and today is her last day. Come on up here. Because oftentimes we have professionals that work with us and serve with us, and so this young lady helps me to be prepared every Tuesday and on Fridays, and she is the consummate professional. And I wanted to take an opportunity, as the city manager says, that great public service begins with great public servants, and she is certainly a great public servant. I'm going to miss her, but she wants to go be mommy, and so when he turns 21, I guess we'll have her back. I won't be here, but thank you so much for all that you do, and thank you for being a valued member of the team. I know Nick is going to miss you. I'm certainly going to miss you. Before coming over to public information proper, she was in public information at the police department, so many nights on many crime scenes, many very difficult events, and during some very difficult days. So thank you for all that you do, and be good, all right? And you're still Savannah strong, even though you're leaving us. All right. So that ends my prepared remarks, and I'll answer any questions you may have.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So this month marks the start of when people can start seeing, Georgia Power customers can start seeing that 12% increase in their bills.
Yeah.
You mentioned the energy efficiency programs. Do you guys, does the city anticipate seeing a greater need for those energy efficiency and application programs?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, we were concerned with the rise in Georgia Power rates. Everybody is, but we also recognize that the cost of providing energy services is increasing, and so we have to do on the other end to help people to be able to buoy that change, that increase in prices. We know that using energy efficient equipment, we know that weatherization helps to lessen energy bills, and so we want our citizens to be prepared. We know that a significant savings can be achieved by weatherization and energy efficiency, and so we're going to work with our residents. While we can't control what Georgia Power does, we can control how our citizens and our city reacts to what has occurred. So we're planning on doing that. I'm soon going to be announcing our Light Up Savannah initiative. We know our city in many places is too dark, and so we're working with Georgia Power to be able to light up our city, and so I'm expecting to announce that in the next couple of weeks. So, can't always change what happens. We certainly can change how we react to it.
I've also done some reporting recently about residents in the Victorian District dealing with bat infestations recently. I mean, it's been an ongoing issue over there. What, if any, stance does the city see their role in kind of mitigating those concerns, especially given the rabid bat that, was found near Forsyth the other week?
Well, Savannah has been a bat city for years. When I was alderman in the 1st District, we had to tear down a house on Augusta Avenue. I went over and we went up in the attic, and it was infested with bats. Those bats live under the bridges. They live in dark places as a part of Savannah. We cannot destroy them because they are protected by the state. And so, we try to mitigate them as we can. We work with our state partners to be able to address those issues. Obviously, we're concerned about the conditions that these bats exist in, and certainly the state, through the health department, is dealing with the issues of rabied or damaged bats. So in this case, there's very little the city can do. It's really a state issue. Of course, they're our citizens, so we're concerned.
And I also just wanted to get your comments on the 95% reduction in homicides year over year in the city of Savannah. What do you attribute that to? That's a pretty drastic drop for a year.
I attribute it to the grace of God. I attribute it to the hard work of the men and women of the Savannah Police Department. I attribute it to the vision of this council and city manager and Team Savannah to take a non-enforcement approach to public safety, particularly by engaging the community more, by building those relationships and engaging. I attribute it to clergy who work with us to be more involved and engaged in communities. And I attribute it to community leaders. I attribute it to moms and dads and big papas and big mamas who have taken a much more active role in addressing that. The reality is that Murders are down 95%. I think we had maybe 16 or so last year. Rapes are down as well. We're not doing as well in burglaries, and so that's an issue that we have to be able to address. But we'll take it where we can get it. You know, unfortunately, when it's going bad, you know, that's something that's lifted up a whole lot. But again, it's a whole lot of work by a whole lot of people, a whole lot of prayers. But the reality is that we're still having shootings and guns are still going off. And so I also attribute it to the healthcare workers who do a phenomenal job. And I have been in emergency rooms watching trauma teams basically bring someone back from the brink of death. You know, we have to continue to do what we can control, and then on the other end, we have to continue to engage young people, which is why you see the all-out approach on summer safety. We know that during the summer that, you know, violent crimes tick up, so we're trying to do all hands-on approach. And then, you know, we have to continue to do what we can legislatively to have common sense gun laws in our community where those who should not have guns don't have guns, and that is easier to get a driver's license than it is to get a gun. And so it's an ecosystem that all works together, but thankful that you lifted that because I think it's a significant achievement for this community. From December 23rd through middle of March, we had no homicides in this community. Again, as communities across the country have had very, very violent weekends. So we're grateful for the blessings. We're also grateful for the work.
Morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning.
I know you talked about having a plan as far as hurricane season goes, you know, where to go. But for our homeless folks, you know, how can they plan for this? You know, where do they go?
Well, we're very blessed and fortunate to have really expanded our capacity, not only through our homeless authority, but through our continuum of care. We now have an interagency council on homelessness that does heavy lifting in terms of funding and bringing the decision makers to the table. The interesting thing is that we actually have a plan, and it's a part of our emergency operations plan for this community to address individuals that are experiencing homelessness. On many occasions throughout my 20-year career on council and before, I've been at the Civic Center helping homeless people get on buses and evacuate them out the community. Actually, it's been easier for them. For those who wanted to go, we would have been able to get them out the community. It's been harder with some residents who just like, nah, I'm good. So, you know, we work those plans, we tweak those plans, we have more partners at the table. We're all rowing in the same direction. And so I don't anticipate any major, you know, because the good thing about agencies is that they plan together. And so as a part of that continuum of care, I think that we have at least solid evacuation plans for those experiencing homelessness.
And I saw where the Chatham County DA closed 4 officer-involved shootings that happened here in Savannah without publicly releasing her findings, you know, even though she promised she would. Any comment on that?
What happened?
So the Chatham County DA, she closed 4 officer-involved shootings in Savannah and didn't provide her findings to the public. Any comment on that?
That's news to me. I wasn't aware. So assuming what you're saying, and I'm not doubting you, just, you know, there's been no communication with my office. I would have hoped that that had occurred. You know, the reality is we've been waiting for quite some time. My position about the officer-involved shootings, and again, last year was a very difficult year, was that if our officers were, if they were liable, if they didn't follow policy, if it was a bad shoot, then we would hold that officer accountable. But likewise, if through the investigation of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and subsequently the district attorney for the Eastern Judicial Circuit determined that the officer acted within their scope of responsibility, then obviously we would uphold that officer. And so because there's so much attention on when the incident happened, I think that those officers deserve that public vindication as well. And so, again, unless we have received something, when did this happen? Yesterday? Yeah, well, it was on the morning news. We didn't know. So, again, and it's unfortunate because sometimes it's how we've learned about stuff. But it is what it is. We are not the triers of fact in these situations. We don't investigate ourselves. And so, I hope that those officers have been able to now resume wherever they are. I hope that those families have some closure. And we go from here.
More question for you. I know, the city's pretty aggressively trying to get kids engaged and keep them safe over the summer. I guess just kind of talk to me about why that's so important, for you and for the city.
Well, I use my own experiences of growing up in Brooklyn and oftentimes being shipped down here to Savannah for the summer. If I wasn't engaged, I was going to figure out some stuff to do. And sometimes it was crazy stuff. I mean, obviously, the statute of limitations on some of the stuff that I might have done has long since passed, and some folks can't corroborate it. But, being a teenager with a whole lot of idle time, we create things to do. And admittedly, I did some stupid stuff because it was just around. Why don't we do that? All right, because at that age, we're not thinking about consequence. We're just thinking about the immediate gratification of that. We know that protective villages provide cocoons around young people, keep them engaged, keep them involved, and really the goal is to get them tired. Run them around all day long, get their behind so tired that at the end of the day, they just go to sleep. And we find that in that case, not only are we expanding their experiences, we're expanding their social circles. Summer goes by a lot quicker. And then by the time parents don't have to worry about it as much, and then school starts again. We cannot ill afford to have young people just everywhere doing anything. That's when trouble happens. Most of our incidents oftentimes have occurred when people are just kind of sitting around. We were just hanging, and we don't want young people just hanging. They need to be engaged, and so I've been very proud of this city, multiple departments engaging in very strong ways to keep kids engaged.
Hi, Mayor. I'm Lydia Blackstone. I'm new here, so you probably haven't seen me before, but
good morning.
it's nice
Welcome.
to meet you. Good morning.
Thank you.
I have a question about some federal money that's coming to Savannah for areas in Savannah that have been flagged for potentially having hazardous substances.
Yes.
In the area. Wanted to get your thoughts on that, and also what are the next steps if they are found to have hazardous substances, how people that live in that area will be notified.
Right. Well, I think, first of all, I'm very grateful for our continued partnership with Senator John Ossoff and Senator Raphael Warnock, helping to secure these funds for us. I talked personally with Senator Ossoff upon the awarding of the funds, and it's like $1 million for revolving funds as it relates to mitigation of brownfields and those types of things. We know that in our city, there are a bunch of them because Savannah's an old city, has had some industrial uses before they became residential. For example, we know where our arena is, that's one of them. And so, the point is, A, to be able to identify them, then secondly, how do you mitigate them? And oftentimes the challenge has been money. And so these funds will help people to be able to address the mitigation of that land, to make it safe, to make it clean, and then be able to be used for other uses. So we're excited about that. It's money that we did not have. It's funds that we did not have. It's an opportunity to be able to capitalize further on making land available. So again, very excited and grateful to our Senate team for their diligence in Washington making this happen for us. Thank you. Anything else? All right. So again, looking forward to it's council week, so you never know what happens at council week. Just you never know. Just never know. We'll find out.
And there is no change coming to any council schedules anytime soon as far as workshops goes or meetings times go. Those are all set in stone for the rest of the year.
Well, actually, there was actually a significant change. So, when we took office, we had 26 meetings a year, and we moved to 24 meetings a year. So we moved from 26 to 24. We moved to a 2-meeting-a-month format on the second and fourth Thursdays. The first meeting at 2 p.m., the second one at 6:30 p.m. to really accommodate citizens that want to participate. But this year, we are not having a meeting, first meeting in July. And so that meeting, actually, we publicized that, and the council voted upon it. The goal is that we have teams of employees that work their behinds off all year long, and they don't get a break. They don't get an opportunity for vacation because their lives are on a 2-week schedule. And so this provides some space, some recovery time. We'll talk about our millage rate, then we'll come back and start getting into budget discussions for the 2024 budget. So workshop, everything is the same as published. Again, we won't have a meeting on July the 8th. I believe it's the 4th, 5th, the 7th. We won't have, that's right, we won't have it on July 13th. So we'll have the second meeting in June, and then we won't have another meeting until the second meeting in July. So, well, thank you all. Thanks for coming, and always be Savannah strong.